Well, day two of my fast, um, and I've woken up with all the start of the detox symptoms, all the phlegm and mucus and blocked up nose and everything, as usual. Um, Stupid parrots would believe that they're sick and probably go to the doctor and get antibiotics and stuff like that. They'll be sent straight for a COVID test, of course. Not knowing it's a normal, natural, and healthy process of healing, because they've been trained with propaganda, particularly at the moment in the COVID setting. But yeah, I'll get through the next probably another 2 days. Over the next day, I'll switch into ketosis because all of my glycogen stores and any carbohydrates floating around, uh, excess in my body will be depleted. So I'll start to switch over to ketones. So it's crucial for me to keep myself alkaline with lemon water and alkaline water. Um, so yeah, I've stopped also taking all multivitamins. I used to take one, uh, what's it called, a calcium tablet, um, and not calcium, sorry, vitamin D. What am I thinking? Sorry, I've just woken up. Um, One vitamin D tablet because I work a lot in the night. And I believe I've got a lot of blockages. Well, it's pretty evident I do have a lot of blockages, but that are preventing me from absorbing the sunlight as much as what I should be. Because I do go out in the afternoons into direct sunlight. Even in my car, I'm always in sunlight before the sun goes down. So I should be getting enough vitamin D. Um, but for some reason it was a little bit low. Um, and that's even though I have occasionally have uh, Calci Plus Vitasoy, which is fortified, and the amount I drink is at least 50 to 100% of vitamin D intake. So if I'm not absorbing that, or it's not converting, then there's obviously blockages or mal absorption issues somewhere from blockages. So that's the best thing about fasting. It gets rid of those things. And that's why I've gone off those multivitamins, because I need to correctly adjust without preloading or anything like that. I need my body to do it. It'll get all erratic. My vitamins will get all erratic. I'll monitor them through my bloods, and then eventually they'll pan out, as they always do. Prior to my current health problems, my levels were absolutely perfect, and all I was eating was a carefully balanced whole food plant-based diet. My caloric intake was pretty low. Um, I often sat at around 1,500 to 2,000, even when I was doing, 1.5 hours, sometimes twice a day, extremely heavy gym sessions with uh, like my self-defense routines on heavy bags in between as rest sessions, no rest sessions. When I was doing all of that, I was still only having sometimes one meal a day, about 1,500 to 2,000 calories. Um, or, one thing I usually always did though is had a wide variety fruit smoothie with some greens added into it. Like I just get all different colours of fruit and have about a litre to a litre and a half. A litre is about all you need. That's about all your body can digest properly at one time. But yeah, I used to have about a litre of that smoothie each morning, and that used to keep me going. And sometimes I used to do 19-hour shifts on my feet, walking around, dealing with idiots in security. Um, and if I had a break, it would be maybe a 20-minute break in that whole 19 hours, but I didn't sit down and eat. I usually grab some food, like I would get some really quickly stir-fried broccoli, mushrooms, um, with a little bit of soy or something like that, soy sauce, just tossed in a pan for me, and I would stand in the middle of the floor of the venue, um, holding my uh, holding my bowl and eating while I'm watching what's going on. So, um, like that, you know, it shows that my caloric intake is stated to need to be around 2,300 as a baseline. Um, and when I was doing heavy gym sessions, it was supposed to be a lot more. There were um, there were times where after heavy gym sessions, when I'd wake up the next day and I could feel the wrong side of catabolism coming across in my body, where I didn't have quite enough nutrients, but I isolated each thing, and I found that each and every time it was that I didn't have enough carbohydrates. So I was adding, 60, 70 grams extra before those particular types of training sessions, and then after as well, directly after, just good carbohydrates like fruit, sometimes sweet potato. I've never really been heavily into rice and pasta. I don't really believe they're all that crash hot. They're proven not to be. They don't really have that much nutritional content. And then there's a lot of starch in particularly white rice. If I do have rice, it's black rice. Um, so that did make all the difference, though. Only, 60 to 120 grams of carbohydrates, good clean carbohydrates, made a massive difference, and I never experienced that again. If I did sessions where I was just doing a massive full body session, but I was also focusing heavily on legs. Legs I used to do nearly every day because I didn't want to be one of the lollipop dudes in the gym where they're all pumped up from the waist up, and they've got little toothpick legs. There's so many of them, but the so I used to do the very heavy leg sessions, and some days I would do a full body session, and I would still do uh, my legs. Like, for example, if I was doing, like if I did a mid range leg press set where I'm doing anywhere from, say, 280 to 380 kilo. I would start at 280, and then do like uh, two sets of 10 to 12 of that, and then put 20 kilos either side, and then do the same, and then do 20 kilos either side, all the way up to as far as I can go at that particular day. Sometimes that range between 380 and 500 kilos. 500 kilos was my maximum that I would do safely. Um, Mind you, I'm talking about at 105 kilos body weight. Um, so, or I would go in and do, I would start at 300. I'd do a little warm up and then I'd start and I'd do drop sets from 380 down. Um, and I'd do them down to 80 kilos and I'd do very low, slow, concentrated leg presses at 80 kilos. I used to try and take it slow and steady as it was, but like sometimes it's good to do like very forceful thrusts with heavy weights because that's where you get power. You might, I was never focused on becoming a big bodybuilder, bulky, um, competition type person or anything like that. I was always after strength and power, and a little bit of you know, you sort of lose some things. You lose some flexibility and agility and stuff like that when you do bodybuilding. So I try to steer away from that. But with doing strength and power, I tended to just gain size anyway, even though I was only eating low calorie. And it's always been plant based. It's always, uh, it, anyone can dispute this all they want, but if you want the best way to build muscle, good solid muscle in your body to get those proteins properly, it's not to eat protein, it's to produce an environment in your body to make your enzymes produce human specific protein rapidly and efficiently. And the best way to do that is on a plant based diet. And the best way to do that is also on a high fruit diet. Because you're feeding the mitochondria straight away, so you've got all the energy in the world, and then you're getting the amino acids in a form that's direct to your cells so that they can produce human protein. Um, that's to get normal, natural, healthy, full growth. Okay, I'm not talking about mutant, artificially created hormonal responses and that blow out and you just look ridiculous and you're not functional at all. I'm never going to go near that. And you've got a high rate of heart attacks and cancer doing that stuff as well, which you see in a lot of most of these bodybuilders and that. It's and a lot of other fitness people too. So I've always avoided that. I look at a health approach with my training that I'm going to get back into at some stage in the next coming months when I've got some more time. But at the moment, I'm focused on diet, reducing my health problems and my excess weight, so that I can be carrying out training with minimal risk. All right. Keep us posted. Cheers.